Who else is excited to check out these Bell & Howell Bionic wall lights? They are solar powered lights that I purchased at Walmart for right around $30. I love that this is a 2-pack and 600 lumens. Let's open this up to see what we get. In our box, of course, we have our directions. We have some mounting hardware, which you can either use these 3M foam sticky pads or there are some screws. I'm actually going to try the foam pads because I've never really tried those before, so I'm excited about that. Let's take a closer look at the lights themselves. These are traditional wall lights, so they're actually just going to be flush mounted here. You can actually install them using the screws or the foam mounting stickers. And so what the idea is, the sunlight will absorb right here on the solar panel and charge the internal 1200 milliamp battery during the day and power your light at night. Directions tell us that the charging time is between 12 and 15 hours, and the company recommends that you leave this in an area where it's going to get sunlight all day. And of course, that means in fall and winter months, you get less sun, so these aren't going to last as long as they would in the spring and summer. If we go measurements across from one side to the other, you're just under 7 inches. Of course, it's just around 2 inches deep, and this height right here is right around 4 inches tall. Total weight is just under a half a pound. The company recommends hanging these at a height of right around 3 meters, which is almost 10 feet. I'm not going to go that high just because the application I want is about 7 feet off the ground, and so I think that'll be okay. They tell us that the distance for the sensor is just about 16.5 feet or 5 meters. If we take a look at the light part, you can see that there are 45 LED diodes there. That's what's going to give you your full 600 lumens. That's on the auto mode, and of course there is a continuous mode. I'm going to go into that in just a second. That gives you a little less, and that's about 30 lumens because it's a whole lot dimmer because that runs all night. We're also told this has an IP65 weather rating, which means you can have it outside. On the back right here is where we have our on, off, and auto buttons. So on, it's going to have that 30 lumens all night, right? So that means it's going to be on, but not very bright, and that will never turn off. And then there's also the auto, which is really bright, but that only runs for right around 30 seconds. Now, because I'm in a lighted room, it's going to turn off right away, and I'll show you in just a second what the light looks like. Right now I have it in the on mode, so as soon as I cover the solar panel, it's going to light up right away. So let's cover that up. That there is what we have, the 30 lumens. Now this is going to stay on all night. So it's going to provide you just a little bit of lighting throughout the entire night, and we're hoping that the battery lasts that long. I am going to test to see if that works, but this is what you get. Now I'm going to switch it over to the auto so you can see that 600 lumens in action. This is going to be a whole lot brighter. Now then again, I've also not charged these just yet. We're working off the battery from the factory, but let's cover up that solar panel, give a little bit of motion here. There we go. You see how that's much brighter than the one on the 30 lumens? This will light up your area. I'm actually going to go put these outside in an area that has a lot of sunlight. I'm going to leave it out there for an entire day before officially installing them. That way I know my battery gets the charge that it needs, and then I'm going to turn it on and install it. We are all charged up, and I'm really excited to try this out. And as it was charging, I had an idea. Instead of putting the 3M stickers, I put some command strips on the back. These ones just have some Velcro. Therefore, as I'm testing this, I can move it around, and I'm kind of excited. Let's go install this. Here we are installed just above the garage. What I like about this location is if I'm walking out here during the night, this thing will light up my path. I do have this on the auto sensor, so that's what we're going to test out first, just seeing, hey, what does this look like with full 600 lumens. Let's come back and check on this at night. I want to test the sensitivity of this light, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start walking towards the light just to see when it's going to go off. I'm starting off at 15 feet away because that's what the manufacturer tells me. Right around 16 feet, this thing should sense me. I'm going to take 3 steps. What? I'm about 7 to 10 feet away. I don't know if you can see me waving my hands, but nothing's happening. What's going on? How? That's silly. I can actually touch this light before it actually went off. That's frustrating. For reference, I'm about 3 feet away. Although it didn't work like it was supposed to, 15 or 16 feet away, it did illuminate when I got within 3 or so feet of the light, which is sort of what you want anyway. Up close, that light will turn on and provide that light in the immediate area. I do wish it would have done better as far as that distance, but it is what it is. Of course, I also wanted to show you what it looked like the other direction, right? Not just staring at the light, but check out how much area is actually illuminated with this simple solar powered light. It does a really good job. That shed that you see over there is exactly 30 feet away, and it's almost like it's daytime. It's pretty cool. This part of the video, we're actually going to show you what it's like on that dim feature. Now this light is going to remain on all night. Well, at least we'll test that in the morning, but this is how dim it is all the time. Let's get a view of the other direction. This is realistically what you can expect. No, it's not as bright as when that full 600 lumens were there, but it's bright enough for you not to trip over things, and I do appreciate that. If we pan back up, you can sort of see where that shed is way over there. It just doesn't light it up the same, but I can still see it if I need to walk around. Of course, a more appropriate view directly underneath the light if I look right down here, because realistically, I'm only going to be using this type of lighting for like a walkway at night, and it really does a good job. So tell me, what are your thoughts of these Bionic wall lights? Something you're looking into? Do you recommend something else? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Now, let's check on these lights after they've ran all night. We're checking in 8 hours after we first put up our Bionic wall light, and check it out. It's still on. So it has been on the entire night, and guess what? It's still as bright as it was when I put it up here originally. Maybe it got a little dimmer, but I can still see everything around the surrounding area. Wow. That's cool that it lasted all night. I can just show you that view like we did earlier, that you can just still see the surrounding area, exactly what we saw earlier. And well, 8 hours later, this light is still on. In this video, we are taking a look at an as seen on TV item, the Bionic wall light. So what do we think of it? First things first, let's talk about that price point. This was 2 for $30, so technically each light is right around 15 bucks. In my opinion, that's a little expensive. I would have rather this be $20 for 2 for 10, but it is what it is. Let's talk about the two different lighting modes. I really did appreciate that it has both the on and the auto, because sometimes you're gonna wanna use one or the other, and since this pack came with two, you can choose to do that in two different areas. I do like that, and for me, I love having it on all night, giving me that soft, gentle light where it lights my path, and I don't worry about tripping over anything. I will say, I was really disappointed with the motion sensor. I got within 3 feet before this clicked on, and I wouldn't have been so disappointed if they didn't tell us that it worked almost 16 feet away, because that is just not accurate. The motion sensor on this thing, well, it didn't work as described. I did like how the lights were powered on all night, and like I said earlier in the video, that is something that could wear down over time just due to wearing down of the panel or the battery, but at least for now, it works really, really well. Anyway, that was my full review of the Bionic wall light. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. I wanted to show you a different solar light that I have, and I've always said this is probably my favorite one. It's the Everbright Ultra. The reason why it's my favorite is because all night it'll be dim just like this. I should say I installed this here 5 years ago, and this still works, right? This is getting ready to be morning. This has been on all night, but my favorite thing about this particular light is, yes, it has that dim light so you can see just in case, but when you step close to it, well, there he goes. The light turns bright, and it lasts for like 30 seconds and it goes dim again. I think that's really, really cool. The reason why I even brought this light up is people ask me, do these solar lights last? Well, in my case, the Everbright Ultra, this has been here 5 years, so yes, I can say this lasts, and it does really, really well, because even now, 5 years later, that battery lasts all night. That being said, I also have some of my other solar lights that, well, after the first year, they just don't light up anymore. A lot of that depends on the solar panel itself, the batteries, and also how much sun that light gets during the day. This particular light right here has high sun almost the entire day, so I know it charges every day. Here's another one of my solar lights that I installed 5 years ago. This is the Atomic Beam Sunblast. Guess what? This one still works too. Of course, this one's a little different. It only has that feature where it gets really, really bright if you walk up into the area, but yet again, another situation where, yep, this did last over time, and I really like this light. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of these wall lights. And of course, in this video, I talked about a couple other wall lights that I've reviewed. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link them both right up here, and I would love it if you would click on one of these links. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm gonna join you at one of those videos. So go ahead, click one. They're safe, I promise.